I first met Robert in 2014, about 10 years ago. I'd never met or spoken to a Christian pastor before, never mind a bishop. We began to chat, and I was shocked at how much we shared in common. Our love of God, our love of faith, our love of people of faith, our love of doing good, and of course, our unshakable love of Israel. It wasn't long before Bishop invited me to join a mission with pastors to Israel. Rusty was on the mission, and it was in 2015. It was an amazing trip. I sat with them night after night. Some of them are here tonight. We laughed together. We cried together. We prayed together. I'll never forget singing Amazing Grace in the cellar, in the basement of Caiaphas' house near Mount Zion, near Zion Gate in Jerusalem. We experienced the Holy Land together. I'd been to Israel dozens of times before, but I had never experienced Israel like I experienced it with the bishop and with my new family of pastor brothers. And from what they told me, and I hope they weren't just saying it to make me feel good, their experience of being with a rabbi, or as they kept on calling me, a Jewish rabbi — I didn't know there was any other kind — their experience of being with a rabbi in Israel was a religious experience on a completely new level. The bishop came to speak at my synagogue and to my community in Beverly Hills, not once, but many times. I came to your church here in Buffalo. I want to pay special tribute to Bishop Reed and Wanda, who are here. Please, if you can stand up wherever you are. It is a great honor to be in the presence of the people of God. Thank you for being here with us tonight. You are truly an inspiration to us all. I spoke at the church in Buffalo, and I've spoken in churches across the United States. In fact, I've spoken at Rusty's church in Alabama. You can invite me again. I won't be upset. And the bishop told me that he felt at home in my synagogue, and I told him that I felt at home in his church, and in fact in all the churches that I spoke at. The thing is, how do you explain it? Just to clarify, I'm an Orthodox Jew from London who grew up in a very cloistered, secluded environment of ultra-Orthodox Judaism, speaking in a church. Bishop Stearns is an evangelical Christian coming into an Orthodox synagogue and speaking to a group, and men and women sit separately, and there's all kinds of rules. How is it that we feel at home in each other's churches, in each other's places of worship? How do we explain the phenomenon of a bishop and a rabbi with different religious beliefs and diverse communities feeling so comfortable with each other and with each other's friends and family? I want to talk about family for a moment. A couple of years ago, Bishop joined us for Passover, for the Seder night, the first night of Passover at our synagogue, and it was 11 p.m. We tend to drag things on a little bit at Passover. We're not going to keep you here tonight till 11 p.m. I just want to make that clear. But at 11 p.m., Bishop excused himself. He told me he had a big event the following morning at a church in Rancho Cucamonga, if I remember correctly. But his boys, Isaac, Daniel, and Michael, they weren't interested in leaving. They were too into it with our boys, Eli, Meir, and Uri. And they stayed, and we went on until the wee hours of the morning. And at some point, by this time we'd got home, Sabine and I decided we're a little tired, we're going to bed. But the boys continued together, and their love for each other was so obvious. We looked at them through the window as they sat at the back of the garden. It was like we were watching a family reunion, cousins coming together to celebrate good times. So my question to you is this: how does any of this make sense? Jews are Jews, and Christians are Christians, and the Venn diagram has no crossover, right? It's a good question. Let me share my thoughts with you, and this is important. Please listen carefully. In 2018, I wrote an article regarding the nature versus nurture debate. In it, I referenced the notorious case of the Jim twins. Some of you may remember it, from 1979. Jim Lewis and Jim Springer, who were identical twins born in 1940, both given away to different adoptive parents when they were just 1 month old. It would be almost 40 years, 1979, until they learned of each other's existence and they were finally reunited. Remarkably, although they had never met, they chain-smoked the same brand of cigarettes, they drove the same make of car, and vacationed at the same beach in Florida. I'm going to give you more details. Both Jims had a childhood pet dog called Toy. They both married a wife called Linda, got fed up of her and divorced her. And then they both married a wife called Betty. They both had one son. They both called their son James Allen. One Jim was a security guard, the other Jim was a policeman. Both Jims suffered from tension headaches, and they were both incessant nail biters. Each Jim grew up with an adopted brother named Larry. And here is a really weird one. Both Jims vacationed at the same 3-block-long beach near St. Petersburg, Florida, both getting there and back from Iowa in a Chevrolet station wagon. The discovery of the Jim twins was widely publicized. It resulted in a monumental 20-year study of reared-apart twins by a fellow called Thomas Bouchard at the University of Minnesota. It's not important. But here's the thing, and this is what I am thinking. The Jewish community and the Christian community are like twins that were separated at birth. Over many centuries, almost 2,000 years, Jews and Christians conducted themselves separately, apart, not understanding their shared origins and their shared destiny, believing they were unrelated and unconnected, even enemies. And then, one day, the penny dropped. We discovered that we love the same things, that we do the same things, that we believe in the same things, that we hope for the same things, and that our destiny is the same. As twins, although we were apart, we yearned for the promised land. As twins, although we were apart, we prayed for the safety of Israel. As twins, although we were apart, we cherished the Word of God. As twins, although we were apart, we anticipated the arrival of Messiah speedily and in our days. My friends, despite all the history of Jews and Christians being apart, our destiny is to be together. My friends, despite all the history of trying to define ourselves without the other, our destiny is and always has been as brothers, as twins, separated at birth, but with our arms locked together, dancing towards the blessed promise of a messianic age, with God's light guiding us towards the glory of his heavenly glow. Let us strengthen our resolve to redeem the world from the emptiness of secularism and to bring it into the fold of biblical prophecy. Let us strengthen our resolve to ensure that no soul is left behind in our quest to ensure the sanctity and security of the Holy Land in the face of physical dangers and the spiritual dangers that are trying to destroy us. Let us strengthen our resolve so that we never spend another minute apart, but rather, as brothers and sisters, we march forward to the establishment of God's kingdom on this earth. As the prophet Micah said, 4:5, for all the nations walk, each in the name of its God, but we will walk together in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. And this from Psalms 133:1. Hinei matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell together in unity. May God bless us all that one day, very soon, the whole world will be united. All of us, brothers and sisters, dwelling together in a world that is filled to the brim with God's presence and utterly overwhelmed by his love. Thank you for including me in this very important celebratory event. Thank you for being my brothers and my sisters. Thank you for bringing God's family back together again. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.